Well, hello, everyone, ranch riding fans. It is Thursday, and you know what that means? Two things. It's time for ranch riding, rhinestones, and rowels, and it is Thirsty Thursday. Here's Sherry and Heather to tell you all about what we've got going on.
Thank you, Pam, and welcome. We're excited about what's going on. Heather's going to talk about the clinic that we had here at Fallon BS this last weekend. It was a really cool. It was full. Everybody was here. We had a limited space, and then it was full with people. So everybody got to learn some really cool things. It was really neat to watch how they started. And we had some that had never been to a clinic. We had some that had been showing before. So a big diversity in our people. So it was really neat to watch how they started and then how they ended at the end of the day.
It really was, Sherry. And that's always so satisfying for me, is watching people evolve and watching them grow and watching them learn, and the satisfaction that they get out of it. You know, it's great. It's a great feeling. And so we started out in the morning about 9:30, and we definitely didn't sweat. The weather was nice and cool and overcast. And we learned a lot of things. We learned about know your rule book with the association that you're with. We also learned about bits and saddles and the differences in those. Then we moved into pattern 6, which is the pattern for this show that we have. The deadline is at the end of the month. We worked on that, and we worked through all of the maneuvers, and everybody learned a lot. And it's just really satisfying to me to watch people grow. And it was a great clinic.
I followed a lot of it on. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Heather does such an amazing job. So we had people from beginners, a young girl that was just 14, to us old people that were trying to get things perfected. And Heather's good with all levels of people, because we've all been at that spot where we need the confidence, we need the encouragement. And it's amazing to watch her take those people who may not want to be told what to do, may not want to be, they want to feel, argumentative about, everybody wants to explain why their horse does this or that, why their horse can't do this or that. And there's just really no can't. And Heather let them talk, Heather let them tell her. And then she would say, but this is why we're going to do this now. And it was really amazing. I got a really good friend that came, and she's got a new horse, and it was amazing to watch her, because it finally clicked, and it was like, well, I can do this. So Heather's amazing.
You know, the biggest thing about going to clinics is don't be embarrassed. Don't feel like you're going to make yourself look stupid or bad or whatever, or like you don't know anything. You're there for a reason, and that's to learn. You paid, and whoever the clinic's with and whatever the discipline may be, you paid your money for a reason, and that was to learn something and to become better at what it is you want to do. So we as human beings, we go to these clinics or camps or whatever to learn, but yet we want to defend ourselves as to why we can't or why we are not doing something a certain way. But there's no reason to do that. You know, it's funny. I found myself doing that today in my exercise class. We're doing some type of a push-up, and I was doing it wrong, and I have, as strong as I am, I have a hard time with push-ups, and I had to tell her why I have a hard time with push-ups. I am no different than everybody else. It's human nature. You know, we are paying to get better at whatever it is that we're doing. So, you know, it's okay. That instructor is not laughing at you. They don't think you're silly. They don't think you're stupid. They don't think anything. They just want to help you and see you grow. So all in all, it was a great clinic.
Well, I followed it on social media. So those of you that are watching us tonight on this Facebook Live might want to make sure that they tune in and follow the HY social media, both your personal page and your performance page, because there were great photographs, and you could really see, even in those photographs, you could see the progress that those students made. And I know firsthand, you know, how little pointers that you've given me have made a big difference. And it's the difference between showing and showing successfully. So hats off to you. And I are there going to be any more clinics in the future?
Oh, I'm sure there will be, Pam, and we'll keep everybody up to date on social media, of course, and the website as well.
And speaking of the website, you just launched a new website, and that's made things a lot more easy in entering the virtual shows as well.
We did. It's www.hyvirtualranchshow.com, and right there on the homepage, you'll see on the calendar right there on the homepage. You click on it. You can enter right there the same form as we had before. You enter there, and for every class you want to enter, you have to do that an additional time. So if you want to enter non-pro ranch riding, you have to fill out the form, go through it. I think it makes you pay for it right then. There's a way to pay. Now you want to enter non-pro ranch trail, you have to go do it again. So, but when you pay, you can actually hit quantity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. It's $25. So anyway, it's very easy. And we're also going to make posting videos easy again. I tried to make everything be organized, and it made it difficult for participants. So we're going to go back to the old-fashioned way. On posting dates of April 26th, you will post to the Facebook feed, just in the feed with your information, and I will do all the work to sort things out. So this way it's easier and more enjoyable for all the exhibitors.
Speaking of entries, entries close at midnight on the 25th, and you have to have them posted by midnight on the 26th, correct?
Correct. Central Standard Time.
Well, and the weather here in Texas is beautiful. I saw on the weather map today, there was a little bit of snow, I think, in the panhandle of Oklahoma, maybe Colorado, but it seems like where most of our fans are living and keeping their horse, there's no excuses if you get out and do it this weekend. Now, if you wait it in, you might have April showers because they bring May flowers.
And I was just telling Sherry that, we're moving into spring and we have thunderstorms in Texas this time of year. So be sure to not procrastinate. Let's get those videos made, get those entries in. We will have a beautiful weekend, so take advantage of that. And it's funny that you talk about looking at the weather and looking at the forecast, because I did another silly thing. I went down to Sherry's and I didn't even bother to take a jacket. No jacket. I just took my clothes, no jacket. So I had to borrow one of hers, and I just grabbed one out of the closet. I think it was her husband's. I don't know. It was too big. But again, I didn't look at the forecast, and I just had to borrow somebody's jacket. So
well, see, when you get to be my age, you live by the Weather Channel. After the age of 50, your excitement in life is knowing what's going to happen in the weather. It's kind of like the Girl Scouts. Then you can always be prepared. So
absolutely, and I always plan my whole week so I know what's going on. And but with here in Texas, for sure, it changes every 5 minutes. So when I plan and I'm not a wind person, but when I plan for the wind, like tomorrow's supposed to be nice. So I'm hoping everybody can get out there around here. I've got some friends coming over. We're going to help video them. And the pattern is easy. It's pattern number 6. So we kind of started with easy, and we're progressing to a little bit tougher towards the end of the year. But it's an easy pattern. So everybody should be able to get out and get that pattern done.
Well, speaking of easy patterns and speaking of our virtual show, I talk every week about what this virtual show has done for me. I mean, it gave me the confidence to enter real shows like as high up as the AQHA World Show and some other shows that I've entered since then. But my first opportunities to show was actually right here with the HY Virtual Ranch Horse shows. And because of that, I encouraged my niece Fallon, who lives here on the ranch with us, to enter the Virtual Ranch Horse show as well. And she's had success in both times that she's shown virtually. So I'm going to bring her in, and you guys can ask her some questions. So come on in, Fallon. Heather, I know that Heather's been a big mentor of yours as well. I'll scoot over a little bit so you can have a little more of the seat.
Fallon.
Hey, Fallon, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining us.
So I was actually thinking that since it's been Pam's career to interview people over the last couple of years, I actually thought she would be the one to interview you. So I really wasn't prepared to ask you very many questions, but I can.
Well,
Okay.
Well, I can go back and kind of talk a little, or you can talk a little bit about your first shows were virtual. Mm-hmm. She only really started riding seriously in August, so about 7 months ago. But talk about the ranch horse class, the ranch riding classes, and the virtual show, because you can do it more than once. You can do your pattern.
Oh yeah, that definitely helps.
Can I intervene real quick?
Yeah.
So Fallon, you moved down here last fall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so prior to that, how much horse riding experience had you had?
I rode for a week in July when I came here for my little visit, and a couple of times throughout my life when I come down and visit in the summer. But other than that, absolutely zero.
Okay. So I'm actually going to play Pam Minnick right now.
Go girl.
I'm feeling it. No, but anyway, so when you came down and you moved here and you started riding a little bit, then you did something else that was a huge feat, and I think that was in August. And what was that?
So the first thing, I did that first ranch riding pattern, and then during that first ranch riding period, I had started kind of getting prepared for the North Texas Fair Queen competition, because I just wanted to throw myself into something new, of course. And so that was what I was really prepping for, and being videoed for that ranch riding class really, it kind of put a spotlight on me and got me really a lot more prepared for, just getting comfortable with my horse for one, and then being comfortable with the patterns, because the pattern for the Queen competition was pretty similar to the ranch riding patterns I had been doing. And so that really was a little bit of a confidence booster and really helped me develop my skills a lot more.
Okay. And how did you end up placing in that Queen's contest?
I ended up actually winning horsemanship in it, which I think was a surprise to all of us. I mean, I had been working my tail off. So, I mean, it was definitely well-deserved. I had been riding twice a day for 60 days straight. So
60 days straight.
That's a long time. I was putting in a lot of effort for it. So I feel like it was well-deserved. And I won the horsemanship part of it, the speech and Q&A, and people's choice. And that put me as reserve or runner-up for that competition. And that was the first one I've ever done. So
that's
a little
awesome.
bit of back.
As you should.
That's awesome, Fallon. So you feel like being in front of that video camera and having that virtual audience really helped to develop those skills to put you in front of the judges and the spectators at the North Texas Rodeo and Fair.
Of course, yeah, because I mean, I'd never been judged before I was riding without a purpose. And when you're riding without a purpose, it gets you sidetracked. You're not really practicing the right things. And so when you have a goal that you are working towards, that really makes you practice a lot harder, and you're working on specific things rather than just trotting around an arena. And so being in front of a camera and being judged for the first time, that really helped me prepare myself for being in that showmanship ring with the judges' eyes on me.
Very good. And so when did you show again in our virtual show?
The last, that would have been the January show, would have been the next one that I did.
And then something else really big has happened in your life with the horses in the ranch horse industry that has been kind of life changing, if you will. Tell us about that, what you're doing now.
So I got immersed into the equine science program at NCTC, and on my visit that you so courteously went on with me, she offered me a scholarship for the stock horse team. And so that's what I have been really going forward with, is now that I'm on the equestrian team and the stock horse team at NCTC, I'm practicing on those individual things that help those patterns twice a week. And then I come home and I practice what I learned at practice, and I practice in an arena at home. And so I'm getting a lot of exposure and a lot of practice through that program. And so that's been pretty big for me.
That's awesome. So I would say that moving from Iowa to Texas and the whole horse industry has really changed your life and has helped your life, help molding your career moving forward, giving you the opportunity to earn a scholarship.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I was always around agriculture and livestock and everything like that. I mean, I grew up raising pigs and sheep and rabbits and basically any other weird animal I had involved in 4-H. And so I was an ag kid. I did FFA and all that, but I was never around the equine. And ever since moving here, that really kind of broadened my horizons on the whole Western industry, equine world. And that's what I've become really immersed in. And I've really loved it. I mean, I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else now.
And another thing I think that speaks so well to what Fallon has been able to accomplish in a pretty short period of time is that is awesome with the virtual horse shows is the opportunity for a do-over. Because, you know, when she first started, and I think a lot of novices and youth are in the same boat, leads are a challenge. And so when you go through the pattern and it does call for a lead change, that's the great thing about pattern 6 is that there's no flying lead changes there. So this is going to be a lot easier. But when it does call for a flying lead change and you don't get that, then you can do it over and over and over and then send in your best video.
I think I redid that first pattern probably close to 6 or 7 in the hires, because the horse I was riding on, because I was not only learning myself, my horse was also learning the ranch riding in introduction, because he was solidly a rope horse only, would not take his right lead. Now he takes his right lead perfectly. So I was learning at the same time as Contender was. And so that really helped, because I mean, we were both learning together, and that do-over definitely helped, because at the beginning of that, he was not taking that right lead at all. And that first pattern did include a flying lead change. So did the horsemanship pattern. So that was something I had to work on.
Very good.
So thank you, Heather. And thank you, Sherry, for coming up with this concept, because it not only made me go ahead and enter a real show, it got Fallon a scholarship.
Overall, technically it really did, because it got me so involved into it. And I was like, oh, maybe I can do this. That was my first baby step.
It's a confidence. So I encourage everyone that's watching, enter up, be judged, move forward, get better, and the sky's the limit.
Yeah, take those criticism notes, because they're important.
Fallon, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. And I'm really proud of you and your accomplishments in a very short period of time. It's been less than 12 months. And you're very much an inspiration to everybody. But thank you for your time, Fallon.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So
Back out of here now.
we will be in Waco this weekend, or I will, and a few of my clients. We have a paint show. And we'll be doing the ranch classes on Friday, the ranch versatility classes, and that'll be the ranch cow work, the ranch trail, the ranch pleasure, the ranch reining, the ranch riding, and the ranch rail pleasure. So if anybody is around Waco or looking for someplace to go, there'll be a nice show in Waco on Friday, and it'll be a good show and a good place to go show in Waco. They not only have paint classes, but they have all breed as well, I believe. So if you don't have a paint, you can bring your whatever breed and show them all breed.
Well, it's been another very informative show, and it is actually National Beer Day, or I guess yesterday was National Beer Day. So we're going to send it to Sherry to get our bartender together, and I'm going to depart with a drink.
Well, Pam, I'm not drinking beer, but it looks like it's Thirsty Thursday, because I've drank over half my drink.
Well, I can't wait to see what Sherry's cooking up.
I can't either.
All righty, Pam, Heather, sorry about that. We have a little break in the video this time. I knew the bartender was going to be a little bit late, but I forgot to tell him that we were filming in the barn and not at the house. So thank you, Heather and Pam, for the patience. And I do want to say that video, the interview with Fallon, oh my gosh, that's amazing. What a great job she has done and how far she's come in such a little amount of time. So Fallon was really, really good. The interview was great. So, but now on to Thirsty Thursday, which of course is my favorite part of the whole week and a part of this whole show. And of course we have my favorite bartender, Kobe, back. And so we're gonna do something a little bit different, she said. And since we got all this, had to get a little time to set all this stuff up. So what is it we're doing today? Not a mixed drink?
So we've been doing drinks here lately, and this time I thought we'd do a shot. It's a shot I've been making for a while. It's a little funky, but it looks really cool and actually tastes really good.
And what's it called?
It's called the brain hemorrhage.
Brain hemorrhage.
And it sounds a little weird, but it looks a little weird, but it tastes amazing.
So we can blame all our bad decisions then on
I had a brain hemorrhage.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna let you have it.
So there's only 3 ingredients for this drink. You're gonna need some peach schnapps, some Irish cream, and some grenadine. And we're gonna do the peach schnapps first. So about 3/4 of the way. And you are gonna need a little spoon for this one.
What are you doing with that? How come the spoon?
What this is gonna do is actually gonna like spread the Irish cream across it so it lightly drops on the peach schnapps and it's gonna float.
So it'll make a layer.
Yes.
Ah, what a super cool idea.
Made this one right. Rip.
Oh my gosh, it does float. That's crazy.
All right. Next, we're gonna drop in some grenadine until it breaks through the Irish cream. And there you have it, folks.
That looks kind of like brains.
The brain hemorrhage.
All right, that was simple and easy, and I think I want to take my shot before we talk anymore.
All right.
Cheers. Oh my gosh,
Right.
that is so good.
Looks weird, but tastes amazing.
It does look weird. It looks like brains. I mean,
Yep.
I can't believe how crazy all that look. The layering is something I've got to learn to do with. I tried some stuff at Christmas with the layers, and it was like 3 layers, and a few of them
I
turned
remember
out.
that.
A few of them turned out really, really pretty, but I'm not real steady with the spoon. So I'd either try to get it a little too. So what's the trick?
Well, that's why you hire a professional.
But that's true. So as a professional, tell us what the trick is to get that. Is it slower?
It's
speed?
it's a little bit slower on the pour because it's got to spread out. If you do it too fast, it's just going to go straight down the spoon and it's going to go straight down the glass. You want to see, so you want to kind of aim a little bit higher on the spoon, about mid-section.
They can't see it. Let's show them.
About mid-section on the spoon, and when it spreads out along the spoon and into the glass.
So is it more important to point your spoon down or a little flatter, maybe?
You still want to angle it a little bit, but you don't want to have it too much, but not too flat.
So is that a good angle?
Yes. Right about there in the glass. Right about there.
Oh, okay. So it kind of it slows down as it hits the glass.
Yes.
The shot glass. And we did chill the Baileys. I mean, or the Irish
The
cream.
Irish
You can
cream
use
and the
Baileys
grenadine.
and so we did chill that, so it made it a little bit thicker. So it was less likely to just kind of disperse and mix all together. But well, we want to thank you for joining us. It was awful short and sweet. I will have the recipe on our comments after this video films or shows tonight. So thank you, Kobe, for coming.
Next time, if y'all know any drinks or shots that y'all would like to see us do on this show, give us a comment and we'll see what we can do.
That sounds fun. Yeah. So you're bound to have some. Had lots of Ask Heather questions. So we need some. Send us a comment a couple of days in advance so that we can get it together and have it all ready. And so I want to thank Fallon for joining us. I want to thank Heather and Pam for being so patient with us. So we don't have another glass, but we can say
Cheers again.
All right.